out on a walk with Junie again, and I was just thinking about firelighting when it's been raining. Obviously everything's very wet, so natural tinder wise we need to be looking for stuff while we're walking to wherever we're going. So where I am now, just noticed there's this very dead gorse bushes, and I've put some in my pocket, and as you can see it's been out in the wind and it's very dead and dry. So if you're walking and you're thinking about lighting a fire later, grab some, pop it in your pocket for when you get there, because you don't know what's going to be there when you wherever you're going. Also en route you're going to be looking for silver birch, birch bark. It's very flammable even when it's wet. All the natural kind of tinders and flame extenders and stuff that you want to be looking for is any type of pine tree. Broken branches low down will have fat wood, so where the branch is broken it sends pine resin to there to kind of protect the tree, and it pools. So if we can find some, I'll go through that. Cedar bark, you can fluff it up. Cat's tails, so next to canals and rivers, it's like a little sausage on top of a reed, cat's tail reed, and that can be fluffed up, dried out, and it can be used as a flash tinder with a ferro rod. So this is a silver birch tree, very dead silver birch. But as you can see, there is bark coming off it, and with the silver birch it rots from the inside out. So this, it's got all the resin from the tree in the birch bark itself. So same again, rip bits off into your pocket, ready to use for some tinder later on. Okay, so those sticking up there are cat's tail reeds, and there's Junie currently having a bath. Those are cat's tail reeds. They're obviously very wet today, but if once they're dried out you can fluff them up. They're the seed pods on top of the reed, and then they make a very good flash tinder, which you'd obviously add like silver birch bark and other things to extend the flame. So as I said earlier, while we're walking along, keep an eye out for anything that you can see which is like last year's dead stems or growth from last year. So we've got all this dead stuff from last year. This is wild teasel, and this one's just here, and this one here is last year's either rose bay willow herb or hairy willow herb, and this bit at the top here is the old seed pods, and it's like when you fluff it up, it's quite dry today, but when you fluff it up it's like cotton wool. So you can take some of that, dry it out in your pocket again. Anything like these, they'll be dry. Okay, so you can see there's quite a bit of it around, so while you're walking have a good look. So just walking down the track, and I know that there's two pines here. So as you can see, you can tell pine just by the way it grows. It's got the needles at the branches right at the top, very fissured bark. And what we're looking for is, I have harvested off this tree before, but this here is the resin coming to the surface to protect the tree. This was a broken branch, it wasn't one I broke myself. So what we're going to do, we're going to pick a broken branch which is there. I'm going to get the pocket boy out and we're going to chop a bit and see if we've got any fat wood. Let's go for this little one down here. So as close to the tree as you can get. And as soon as you chop into it, you'll be able to tell. Yeah, there it is. Oh, stuck in the trees. And there is our fat wood. Now the stuff you buy from the shop is cultivated. So they chop a tree, basically the trunk, let all the pine resin come to it, then they chop it, cut it up, dry it out, and then sell it to you. But if you want to get your own, it's only going to be literally a couple of inches at the end of each branch. So I've just got to camp and we're going to attempt to start a little fire. Nothing to cook on or anything, just want to try and start it. So I've got the kindling still in my pocket, so the thin stuff, and then the tinder we've got down here, which is a silver birch bark base. I'm going to scrape up some fine bark, like into shavings into that. I've got ribbons ready to go, and then I've got a stick here which is a brace. So I've seen this from Mike from TA Outdoors. Puts a stick at the back, and then when he leans his kindling on, he can lift the kindling up for more airflow and drop it down. And then when he adds the next layer of small twigs, and then you start going into your fuel wood, after you've got an established fire, you can lift up the base for more airflow, which I think is a really good tip. So I haven't got my camera stand with me or anything, so I'm going to put the camera down, get everything prepped and ready, get it lit, and then I'll take hopefully a video once it's lit and going. So ready to go. So I've got my tinder pile here, scraped birch bark, my little base there ready to go with some really thin twigs and some birch bark. I've got all my kindling here ready to go, so some grass, very dead dry grass, and that gorse that we've seen earlier. I'm going to put a few sparks to it, see what happens, but the main thing you need to remember is don't rush and just take your time. It may not happen first time, may not happen second or third, but just keep going with it. Make sure you've got extra materials with you, and yeah, we'll see how we go. So first attempt didn't go to plan, so what I'm going to do this time is just with the birch bark, didn't go to plan. I'm going to add some very fine shavings of the fat wood and try and scrape off some very fine dust from using the back of my knife. See if that will give it an extra bit of punch. So let's try again. As you can see, that very dead dry grass from last year has caught nicely, and also the gorse has caught as well. And then you just keep adding more fuel and more fuel and more fuel, so obviously you're up to your main fuel. General rule of thumb is pencil thick, pinky finger thick, finger thick, and then thumb thick is generally what I go by, and then the big fuel after that. So I'd also like to go through what I keep in my pocket as well for general fire lighting and some wet weather fire lighting. So I've got just a normal clipper lighter. I've got a Forester Fundamentals waxed jute rope, get off, which burns really nicely. It's a good flame extender. It will light from a spark or from the lighter. And then here is just a small ferro rod, a small piece of fat wood, and just a striker that's I've had hanging around. So that's what I keep in my pocket at all times when I come out to do any bushcrafty stuff, to light fires. It takes up hardly no room, it's not very heavy, and if it is wet, you can't use natural tinder, you've got it there in your pocket.